Welcome to Buckle Up Podcast Universe with Brandon Rush.
Recording in progress. And welcome back to the Buckle Up Podcast Universe with Brandon Rush and Mama Rush. If this is your first time tuning in, I'm actor Brandon Rush. I have been in 80 plus TV shows and films all over the world, I guess you could say. New York, Los Angeles, Atlanta, Miami, New Orleans, Pittsburgh, Mexico, all over California, Chicago, London now. I think I said Mexico. Sometimes Virginia, South Carolina. I miss some places from time to time. And I launched a podcast with my mom, Mama Rush, who is a pharmaceutical sales specialist and the person that I believe always asks the best questions. Not only do I think that guests think she asks the best questions as well. And she adds that perfect motherly touch. So today, we are doing really well. We have done 159 episodes. Tonight will be 160 with Corey Lawson, who I will tell you guys about in a second. We are in 106 countries, 1,137 cities around the world. We have been downloaded in. We are on 6 continents, and then I said that we've done 159 episodes. And we're blessed. We feature people from all different walks of life because our goal is hopefully to educate the youth. We have had people that work within the movie business on here, directors, agents, casting directors, casting associates, casting producers, casting assistants, producers, writers, I said the casting community, actors, actresses, voiceover artists, and in other expressions, we've had military, we've had veterans, we have had Marines, Army, Air Force. So far, I need to get some people from the Navy on here as well. We've had doctors, lawyers, nurses, nurse practitioners, small business owners. One of my friends helps run a hedge fund out of Canada that's done extremely well. Another friend of mine works at a vice president for a bank. I believe Wachovia is the bank in Scottsdale, Arizona. I said before, we've had small business owners. We've had teachers. We've had professors from my college at University of South Carolina on here. We have had, recently we had a doctor from Virginia who is what is he? He's basically a colon cancer doctor. So I got to excuse me for not, a proctologist, I believe is a fancy word he said for that. And then we also had quarterback Steven Garcia on here the other day, which was a really special episode where he talked about he's been diagnosed. He was a quarterback at the University of South Carolina, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time at our college. And he was recently diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. But he came on here, he shared his bravery, how he's going to go after this thing all the way and beat it. And we're all rooting for Steven. So I just wanted to mention him too. If you would be ever interested in being a guest on our show, feel free to DM me on Instagram at BRANDONRUSHH or on our Buckle Up podcast page, which is BUCKLEUPPODCAST. We are also on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. We're on YouTube and about 12 other directories. Please make sure to download our episodes, show us some support, and tell your friends about it. Feel free to leave a comment as well. We always love hearing from fans of our show, and we love having people on. So if you think that your story might resonate or that it's something that might help the youth, please feel free to reach out to me. Also, I know a lot of people sometimes have stage fright, but I've heard a lot of my friends have come on here and said, hey man, Brandon, I'm kind of nervous around cameras and all that, but it's really not that hard because most of all, you're talking to me. I'm pretty down to earth and my mom's amazing. So it's like everybody that comes on doesn't realize how fast it goes and that we are here to help. And it's just like we've known you for years. And some of the people we have known for years, but even the ones that we haven't, they've always felt right at home. So on tonight, we're going to have Corey Lawson, who is a film and television talent agent based in Atlanta, who has been working in the entertainment industry since 2016. He works alongside his brother, an experience which he deeply values both professionally and personally. Over the past decade, Corey has built a career representing actors for film and television while developing a genuine passion for the craft and business of entertainment. He considers being a talent agent a true joy and has embraced the industry challenges and rewards outside of work. Corey enjoys spending time with his wife in Midtown Atlanta, along with their dog Wade and cat, who I believe her name is Mama. But good name by the way. But we will find out here just momentarily. So we're looking forward to having Corey on here in just a second. Recording, and then I'll let Corey in.
Okay.
See here, he should be popping up. Corey, my guy.
What's going on, Brandon? How are
Not too
you?
much. Doing well, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Just enjoying the evening here. Just had some dinner with my wife, and sorry if you hear my dog walking around the condo right now. He's a little stir crazy at the moment, but we're
Oh,
just
you're
enjoying the evening.
yeah, you're good, man. Also, congratulations. You just got married within like the last month and a half, 2 months, right?
Jake got married within that time frame. I got married in November.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
So
mm,
yeah,
congratulations,
still
man.
fresh. I mean, we were both like back to back. So
Yeah.
and he did one of these the other day with you as well, didn't he? Did he?
He hasn't been able to. We weren't able to do it because I had to reschedule.
Okay.
But I am gonna have him on because I had to
Nice.
reschedule
Yeah.
that day. So,
Well, I got married first, so having me on first, hey, it
right?
works out in the natural progression.
yeah.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, Corey, I want to welcome you to the Buckle Up Podcast Universe with Brandon Rush and
Mama Rush. Hi, Corey. How are you?
Good, Mama Rush. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great today here in South Carolina. And it's a beautiful day.
Ooh, nice. I've been to South Carolina, I think, once or twice. Once was actually for a wedding in
Oh, okay.
Charleston,
Oh,
and
oh,
it
oh,
that's
was
nice.
nice town.
beautiful
Nice
there.
town. Oh, it's nice
Yes.
town, Charleston.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody was really nice, and I'm from a small town in Albany, Georgia.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so it seemed kind of like that, like people still had that Southern hospitality there. Atlanta has it a little bit, but not
Uh-huh.
as much as some of the other more like less, I guess, cityfied areas in the South, if you will.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I tell you, Georgia is a beautiful state. A lot of places, a lot of things to do. The mount, it's a place up there that you go into the mountains. I forget the area. It's a great place to visit. People, people go there to visit. I mean, it's something about that. I don't know the town, but it's a little
Is it
town. That,
Blue Ridge
Blue
or
Ridge.
Jasper,
Throw one more name out there. Let me
Ella J?
well, I'll think about it, but it's a town. It's very popular, and people stop by. It's right out from Atlanta, I believe.
It's not
But
Stone Mountain, is it?
yeah, Stone Mountain.
Oh
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's not far from me at all. I could actually if I go to my brother's place, he's actually right next door. He's my neighbor.
Uh-huh.
We both live kind of right here side by side on Peachtree Street. But
Oh,
he
that's
Oh,
has
awesome.
a
okay. Oh,
balcony and like he's in like a high rise. So if I go out on
uh,
his balcony, I can pretty much see Stone Mountain.
Holy smokes.
oh,
So
wow.
it's not too far, but it
Okay.
is, I mean, as the crow flies, but to get there, it still take you a good while
Well,
in the
you live in
car.
high on the cotton. If you living off from Peachtree,
Yeah. Yeah, we love it down here. It gets a little loud and rowdy sometimes, and
uh-huh,
me and my wife we haven't had any children yet, but I think
uh-huh,
once we do get to that phase, it'll probably be we'll have to cross that bridge of how, do we want to stay here? I think we'll eventually rent it out. We'll probably want to
uh-huh.
keep it just
Yeah,
because we love the area and we'll probably want to
yeah.
always come back here. And there's a lot of
Very nice.
memories and
Very nice. Well, you don't have to worry about anything when you have those children. If they have your looks, they're gonna be just fine.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Know how your wife looks, but you're very handsome. So I want to mention that. Okay, Brandon, whenever you're ready, get
Yeah. Well,
started. Okay.
Corey, today is all about you, brother. We're beyond happy to have you on here. How did you end up? I want to know your journey from Corey as a kid to how did you get to what you're doing today, man? Take us to the beginning, brother.
Wow, so it is something I've never imagined I would be doing. Growing up as a kid, I was playing sports year round and took karate and was very active in the athletics.
Hmm.
And I was one of those kids that played every sport all the way through elementary school into high school. When I graduated, I played basketball, football, baseball, soccer, tennis, track.
Mm.
So I would never was ever involved in acting, and some of my friends would do like the school plays and stuff, and I always thought that was cool. I never was one of those jocks that kind of like, I got along with everybody. I had friends in the theater world, the music world, and I just
Mm,
happened to never really be around it as much. So it was never an opportunity that was presented to me. But as I grew up and I moved out of Albany when I was 19, I moved to Kennesaw and just started kind of finding myself. I enrolled in Kennesaw State University and
Okay.
took like some business. What was my major? It was business marketing,
mm-hmm,
and did that for about a year and a half. And kind of, I was having to, pay my own rent, pay for my car, pay for my tuition, and I had to take a few semesters off to work and save up and things like that.
Hmm.
And during that time, I got a job working for AT&T corporate, which was a good job at the time. It was kind of
mm-hmm,
in the field of what my major was. So I was like,
Yeah.
well, I'm just going to work for a little while, save up some more money, and I'll come back and finish my degree. I wasn't really set on doing marketing. It was just something I was told to do as a kid. Like, you should get a business degree or a marketing degree. It's very useful. It's very broad, and you could apply it in
mm-hmm,
uh, many different industries. You could work pretty much anywhere. And so
uh-huh,
that's kind of the reason I did it. But I wasn't, certain on what my calling, if you will, was going to be or
Hmm.
what I even wanted it to be. But
uh,
I did know that I was certain that I didn't necessarily want to be in sales my whole life,
mm-hmm.
or at least doing what I was doing at the time. So I worked for AT&T for I think 6 years.
Oh.
And I just quit one day. I put in my 2 year, I put in my 2 week notice.
Notice.
I've never like done a job like that.
Yeah.
I've always been a good worker and
Yeah.
good with communication, but I basically told him, hey, been doing this for a few years now, and it's time for me to take a step of faith and just quit this and see what God
Uh-huh.
has next for me. And
Yeah.
so I left and I didn't work for a year. Well, I enrolled at Georgia State and started studying film and video just
Oh.
because around that time, Jacob had just gotten involved with the agency.
Hmm.
And so he was living with me at the time. And so I was seeing what was going on. And I was like, man, this is really exciting.
Yeah.
I don't know what I want to do, but maybe I could start to learn about what the opportunities are within this industry and go from there. So I went to Georgia State for, I think it was probably a year.
Okay.
And at that time I was working. Jake had brought me on because he had just purchased the company, I think
Hmm.
probably in my second semester at Georgia State, and he asked me if I would like to come on and help him with it, and I was
Yeah.
extremely excited to do that.
Yeah.
And so it seemed like something like, hey, this is something we could grind out together as family. There's a lot more on the line when you're working with your family. And we're both very competitive, and we've always been competitive with each other. And we've never really had the opportunity to work together, but we've
Yeah.
been on the same teams and stuff like that. And we tend to work well together. We grew up in a room, like shared a room until I moved out at 19. So you
Oh.
kind
Okay.
of have to get along. Like
Yeah.
we grew up that way. Like our parents would not let us fight, and we still did, but we would get in trouble every day, like every single day we would get in trouble. But we worked
Yeah.
out all of our problems before we became adults. And
Yeah.
so when we started working together, it was very easy, and it always has been. And so he brought me on, and I remember I was doing submissions, and it was film aesthetics class, and I loved that class. But I
Mhm.
was doing the breakdowns, I was doing submissions, and I was also paying attention to class as much as I could. But I think one of the teachers was like stopped class and told me that I have to like close my computer, or no, they asked me what I was doing. And I
Yeah.
was like, I'm just, I'm actually working, but I'm also taking notes, and I'm trying to do a multitasking here as much as I
Mhm.
can.
Yeah.
And so she was like, well, for right now, I need you to just pay attention. And I was like, okay, this is college, mind you. This is
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
state university. And I'm
Yeah.
at my head, I'm like, all right, well, that's a sign right there. Like,
Yeah.
if you won't let me work and just, it's different if I'm failing all the tests, but I'm doing
Yeah.
well and
Yeah.
like actively involved in the conversation. And I think
Yes.
maybe that day I was just really busy and I couldn't, and she
Oh,
noticed and upset her. But anyways, it was a sign to me that said, "Hey, look, this is
time to
you're
go.
kind of being dealt a choice. Like, do you want to work or do you want to sit here and just learn?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "Well, I've learned enough for now, and I'll start to work." And
Mhm.
so I was already working, but I decided to just not continue to study at Georgia State and just went full into the agency. And that was about 10 years ago. I
Oh,
think
wow.
2016. 2016 and 17 is when about I started, and
Okay.
it's been a it's been a wonderful ride, and it's been a lot of fun and very rewarding. We've gone through the ups and downs of the strike, and then just various things that the industry with COVID and then the strike. It's just been a lot of stop and go since about 2020, but
Oh. Mm-hmm.
it makes you appreciate it that much more when things are going really well, and we're fortunate enough to keep our head enough above water throughout all that to be able to
Yeah.
continue to do it. And
And,
been very grateful for that. But that's pretty much how I got here, and
well,
I'm still here.
but
Hey, we love it,
I
man.
just love it. I wanted to just can I rewind just a little bit to take a little bit. Working with family, that's what it can be
Mhm.
amazing. It can be
Yes.
challenging.
Hmm.
What's it's really like building a business with your brother? That's what I want to say. And how is that about that process?
Well, he has surprised me in many ways. He is my younger brother.
Oh,
And so he's technically my boss. So
oh,
Yeah.
we work together on everything. And but I never hesitated because I know that he takes his work as serious if I as I do, if not more serious. And he
uh-huh,
has a very good attention to detail. He has a lot
uh-huh,
of patience when he's dealing in these negotiations, and is
mhm,
able to he does his job, I do mine. We have separate roles in the company. So when it comes down to, when we're working a deal out, we all get together and try to get our input and make sure everybody feels good about it. But I feel like there's nothing, it's been great working with him. And, just communicating has actually been easier than communicating with someone who's not my brother. Because like I said, we literally fought for every day growing up until I
uh-huh,
moved out, or until I started driving. And then we
Yeah.
had to kind of unite forces because he needed to go places, and a lot of times I didn't want to go alone. And so
uh-huh.
we become really, really close. We were always close, but we became more allies once I started driving. And it's just, I guess, all part of the plan, or God's plan, if you will, that we're
Yeah,
actually united and working together again. But I think
that
that we've been blessed to do it, and maybe had a little bit of luck, but we put in a lot of hard work. And I think that
yes,
you kind of get what you put in this industry, and sometimes you don't even get that. So you really got to put in a lot of work to get anything. And
well,
so
I
but it's
believe
been a blessing to grind it out with my brother, and like I said, have success and be able to continue to do it, and still see growth every
that
year.
that's wonderful because you
Absolutely.
both, and what I'm hearing, you both have decided and growing up together, his strengths and your strengths and what the responsibilities are. And you're growing, you have a very successful business. And that's really such a unique relationship to be with your brother. And you all are able to keep moving in the right direction. So I love that so much hearing that. Uh, one thing I want to ask you about Atlanta. Atlanta has become a major entertainment hub. Why Atlanta?
I think
It's
it started with the tax incentives,
okay.
and people came here, they started working here. I think it also has to do with the culture. Like,
Uh-huh.
there's a lot of creative artists here. It's also, like I said, it's still a southern town, so you get the southern hospitality.
Very good.
And there's been so many sets that I've gone to, and the first thing that you'll hear someone say is, "Wow, everybody's so nice here." You
Mhm.
get in the elevator with someone, and they're like talking to you and asking you how your day's going. And I think people, we all desire that, right? But like
Yeah.
in
Yes.
big cities, it can feel like you're so close to each other that everybody needs a little space. And
Mhm.
here it's not really like that. I guess it can become like that if you're constantly anybody, you could catch anybody on a bad day, but I think in general most people here have a good attitude. They want the industry to come here. The
Mhm.
tax incentives are there. The studios seem to it seems like more and more projects are coming here, so I think it's going to continue to grow, and
Great,
we haven't
great.
seen any signs of anything really letting up. So
Oh,
I don't really
great.
know exactly why, but if I had to guess, it'd just be basically it's cheap to make movies here, and people are
Mhm.
nice.
Oh,
Absolutely.
that's
And
great.
the
That's
weather
great.
is fair. It's pretty predictable. You have all four seasons. It's
That's
not
right.
just constantly hot or constantly sunny. You have everything.
Mhm.
I love that. I love that about the South, the
Yeah.
change in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Brandon.
Um, yeah, Corey, had a question for you. And then actually one thing before I even get to that question, you come
Mhm.
from a big family, I think. I did write your sister about and ask her to come on the show, the one that sings.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. I'm
Uh,
actually going to meet with her tomorrow. One of our best friends, one of the guys I was in my wedding, I made music with growing up as well. He
Mhm.
is turning 40, so we're actually doing a full getaway up there and
oh,
everything. So
nice.
I'll see her tomorrow.
Yeah,
But
I asked her, but yeah, tell us about your family because you come from a big. I'll get back to the age and stuff, but you come from a
mhm.
big family, don't you, or semi big?
Yeah. Well, I'm the oldest of four.
Okay.
My mom and dad got married when they were pretty young, and my mama had me pretty much right after they not right after they get married, but like 9 or 10 months after they got
Yeah.
married.
Uh-huh.
And then they had my brother a year and 10 days later. And then I had two sisters within 3 years or within 4 years after that. So there's six of us total, my mom, my dad, and then four kids. So we grew up, we didn't grow up, there was ups and downs, but it was
Mhm.
pretty much like I always had a job since I was 14 just because there wasn't a ton of extra to go around. We
Yeah.
always had what we needed, but we weren't getting allowance or anything like that. Um, but yeah, I mean, pretty big family. My dad has several brothers and sisters, and I have probably 80 or 90 first cousins.
Oh,
So
wow.
we have a huge
Oh,
family now.
smokes.
Oh,
So yeah,
wow.
it's really a crazy story how that all happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, I come from a big family.
That's nice.
It feels small because everybody knows each other really well and everybody is there for each other. It's a really close-knit family and there's not a lot of cliques or anything like that.
Yeah.
So that's good. I know that we've been fortunate to have a big family and for it's
Mhm.
been like that at times, but the family kind of gets together and kind of like encourages people to work out their differences and things like that
That's the
so
right
that we all
answer.
stay
Amen.
in good harmony and whatnot. But
That's great.
um,
That's
yeah,
great.
I feel
That's
like I
one.
feel very fortunate to come from the family that I do come from.
Yes, that.
Absolutely. You're good people too. You and Jacob both are. You know I love you both. So you
Appreciate it.
guys are good people, man. So now a question I have to ask you. Thank you for sharing that with us. I had the question to ask you was this. From an agent's perspective, whenever you actually, I'm gonna do it in a bigger level.
Mhm.
You guys are in Atlanta, and you guys go up against. You obviously, if you think that talents will be coming from California and talents are going to be coming from New York, probably mainly. How did you guys go about building yourself as a powerhouse to where, hey, you don't casting when casting offices look, hey, you don't need to go to California, you don't need to go to New York. We got the talent right here at our agency, and oftentimes not, it's the agency that you guys clients book and work all the time. How did you guys go about building something like that? Like, what is that? What was that been like for you? And even breaking down how, hey, I think we got a shot at getting this person in here for that.
Well, people like yourself, talented actors who know what they can do and have their materials together, trusting us to rep them is probably one of the biggest things. Another big thing I think that has separated us, or at least I know that casting appreciates it from us, is that we're pretty much, a 24-hour agency. I
Mhm.
work 80 hours a week. Jake does
Oh,
too, and it's not anything that we sweat. We enjoy doing it. We understand in this business it's a hurry up and wait type of thing. And if I wait till tomorrow to get to something that everybody else is getting to today, then my people could suffer. I don't want to be the bottleneck in any process. And I think
mhm.
casting knows that and they know how much we care about this, I think, because we do respond quickly and we try to be fair. And we happen to rep a lot of very talented actors, and those
Mm.
people have gone on to do well and then refer their friends who are also talented. We rep a
Mhm.
ton of people who have moved here from LA who are already established, and
Yeah.
Oh.
people from New York, and they move here because they wanted to get out of the big, they kind of wanted to see what it was like in Atlanta. People who've done well out there, but also you're still going up against it's a big ballpark out there. So,
Yeah.
I think just us having a lot of early success helped. And
Mhm.
every single time we've had any issue with a casting director, we've always resolved it that day. It's
Yeah.
never been something that we let snowball or grow. We've always done right, I feel like, by our people and by our company and by
Mhm.
our own integrity. So I
Mhm.
think casting just they kind of know what they're going to get with us, and we try not to waste their time when we're sending them people. We don't send them 1,000 people.
Hmm.
We try to be specific. We know our actors, we know what they can do, and we try to send them out for what they're right for. I think all that stuff they it puts you in casting's mind as okay, these people have most of their stuff together. Their people are working, they're getting their auditions in on time, they're following the directions. A lot of that over time just builds their trust. And I think you just have to build their trust. It was a slow and steady grind, but luckily, like I said, we're good with all the casting directors that we've worked with, and we continue to work with all of them.
Absolutely. Thank you for that question, Mom. Unless you have another, I have another question. Unless you have
Yeah,
one.
I do.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
I want to know what makes an actor stand out when you first see them.
So that's a good question, and it's not as simple as you would think. You know, I do a lot of workshops and do a lot of showcases and get invited all the time to see performances. And there's a lot of people who want this, and a lot of people who work hard at it, and there's a lot of people who just are really good at it naturally. And it's one of those things you see a lot of actors who are, they're making choices and they're doing okay. But to see someone actually to do a really good job, to stay
Mhm.
from start to finish all the way in it with no doubt or anything,
Mhm.
um, that is actually pretty rare. I mean, it's maybe different if I was out in LA and there's a class full of a room full of loaded resumes, and there's
Mhm.
25 actors that I'm watching. They're all phenomenal. I think in that it would be a lot harder, but I think just there's just a ton of people doing it,
Mhm.
and the cream sort of rises to the top naturally. If you see enough takes, you're gonna figure out what works and what doesn't.
Okay.
But it's usually just it's always grounded. Um, the character has already created a backstory. The actor's already created a backstory for this character. We're
Uh-huh.
just catching a glimpse into their life for a moment. So it
Oh
never
wow.
feels stop and go. It feels like we're catching them in the middle of something and then they're
Uh-huh.
gone. So it's really hard to put into words, but when you see it, it's easy to say, oh, that person was a really good actor, because I see so many other actors doing well, but not really nailing it, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Okay.
And not everybody can nail it. I mean, I've seen people with great looks that they're just not able to get it. They're just not able to get it down perfectly, or not perfectly, but they're not able to make it feel real,
Hmm.
Mhm.
but they have a great look and stuff, and so they'll struggle. But the people who get it, they tend to do well. And even if you book one out of 30 auditions, that's really good numbers.
Oh
And I
wow.
think a lot of people get down on themselves mentally too, and forget this is like a lifelong career. And if like
Mhm.
treat it as if you're a doctor, the first 10 years you're in residency, the
Yeah.
Yeah.
second 10 years you're learning a lot, and you're probably building some confidence. And then the next 10 years, people are like you're getting a lot of recognition, you're doing well. And then your last 10 years, people are asking you, how did you do it? And you're fielding a bunch of offers and stuff. It's people get caught up and think they're going to do really well really quickly and it's going to solve all their problems. And I think a lot of your problems will get solved over time if you do this long enough and figure out what works well for you. It kind of brings all your things to the surface.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
And I feel like it helps learn, like the long process is how you learn anything. But so many actors I feel like get burnt out quickly, or
Yeah.
feel like they're not making the progress that they expect to make. And if you think about it, like this is a 40-year career, it helps you keep a level head throughout it too. And I
Oh, that's
think,
good.
yeah,
Not to cut you off, but that's a
no.
good that's a good thing. It's a 40-year. Yeah. And that's with anything. If you start
Hmm.
a job, you decide, wait a minute, as you did, I need to move to something else. And look how you honed your skills.
Yeah.
You kept taking classes, doing this, doing to bring you to where you are now. And
Yep.
so, and that wasn't a jump through the lake or jump. Like I said the other day in a class, jump over the ocean I said, I want to jump over the ocean when I need to get in a
Mhm.
boat and just ride to the river because I was trying
Yep.
to learn so much stuff. I said, it was too funny. But go ahead, Brand, ask yours. I had to get
Absolutely.
that
No,
in.
no,
Okay.
you're good, Mom. You're good.
Uh,
Jacob, because we're in 106 countries on six continents and in 1,137 cities as of right now, could you do me a huge favor and break this down for our audience? Because it's people that don't know exactly what an agent does or what your day to day looks like. Would you mind breaking that down
Yeah,
for us, if you wouldn't mind?
sure. So essentially, what an agent does, we represent a select number of actors. For us, it's about 200. And what we do is we try to get those actors work. Um, and the way that it works is casting will release their breakdowns to us, and we will take a look and we'll try to match our people up to what we think they could do best within that project. And we'll pitch them and kind of explain to them why we think they would be a good fit, that sort of thing. And then if casting agrees, they will request them to audition. And then once the audition process starts, you'll go through several portions of the audition process before you actually book it. And I think that's also one thing that gets a lot of actors down is just the process of going through it so much. But we basically get them the audition. If they book it, we negotiate the deal. And then it's pretty much on to the next one. And then when they send the check in, we make sure that the check is right. Um, a lot of our job is that following up and making sure that they paid for the fitting and they paid for the travel and they got the extra day or they got the overtime. Things like that happen it's almost like every other check, there's probably a mistake on it.
Oh, wow.
So there's a lot of that type of work that goes into it, but that's like probably the part of the job that isn't as fun.
Hmm.
Like getting to celebrate with your actors when they book a life-changing role is it's that is a wonderful feeling. And um, being able to just be able to help them do that in some way is also very rewarding. But we're basically the point person for if someone wants to hire an actor, any production, they'll come to us at some point, and then we'll start the process from there. But most of the times, it's pretty straightforward. We pitch our people, they request them. If they want to book them, we negotiate the deal, and then we send them to set.
Okay.
oh,
Thank you, Corey. I'm sorry, man. If I slip up, I apologize. I don't think I've
No,
slipped
it's
up.
fine. Yeah,
I
it's
haven't slipped
fine,
up yet,
bro.
have I? I don't think I have.
It's all right. You did once, but I'm used to
Ah,
that. My
dang. I thought I
my
did.
own my own Nana, my grandmother mixes mess us up all the time, so I don't
Corey,
I
I'm
don't hold
sorry, man.
anyone.
I didn't because I was like, did I
Brand,
slip up once? But
No, you're good,
that's
bro.
quite all right. Brandon,
Corey,
can
here's
you know
my question.
I
Oh,
call
good.
Brandon. I'm sorry. I will do that with Brandon and his brother. I'll
Oh
mix.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll
It's
just
we're
call him.
very used to it. We don't take
Yeah,
offense to that at
they
all.
used to. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Absolutely. My
So,
mom calls me my brother's name, David, all the time. I'm just like, I know what you mean. Uh,
Yeah, I just ignore it. I'm just like, I know what he means. There's no reason for me to correct him.
exactly.
I don't
yeah.
care.
Well, Corey, will you do me a favor? Will you explain? This part was going to be more for probably the actor side of stuff because I think a lot of
Mhm.
people don't realize this. And then even for people that kind of know the business, will you explain what's the difference between being a veil or pinned, or if you can kind of break that down too?
Yeah, so what Brandon's talking about is later in the process, once you've already been through the first round of auditions and you've been to a callback. And so they've seen a bunch of, not a bunch, they've probably seen 10 people for the role that Brandon's going for at the callback. And now they're sending us a veil check, meaning that out of those 10 people, he's in the top 3 or 5, or he's someone that they want to know, is he available? Is he able to travel? They're getting your availability. Um, so usually availability check is the most common.
Mhm.
Um, Pin is something that happens too, meaning we want to basically we can't book them yet because we don't have dates, but we want to put a pin in them because they're either the choice or they're the backup.
Mhm.
And then you have right of first refusal, which is also kind of similar, where they basically, you're in the top two, you're either the one or the second, and they need to know if you book something else because they have the right to offer you a deal before you take that other deal.
Oh,
So that's right of first refusal. And then I think that might be it. Availed, yeah, that's pretty much it. They have different terms that kind of mean the same thing,
Uh-huh.
but Yeah, those are pretty much I would say the three: avail check, pin, and right of first refusal. Those
Okay.
are the three things that say you're basically in the top selections for the role. Now we're going to send it off to the main decision makers, and they're going to take their pick. And
Oh,
then, we either hear back. A lot of times we don't hear back, and then
Yeah.
we'll have to follow back up. And then they'll let us know, no, it went the other way, but let them know they did really well. And honestly, that's the God's honest truth. I wish every actor would treat an avail check or a pin or something like that as a good thing. And I know
Yeah.
I would be the same way. Like I'm so competitive. If I get an avail check and then it goes the other way, I'm just going to be so in my own head. But that means you beat out thousands of people. You were
oh,
neck and neck, and it came down to someone's preference or their decision in the moment. You never know what could affect it. But
Mhm.
um, yeah, getting to that point of the phase in casting means you are doing a lot. You're doing everything right. Everything you
Mhm.
can control, you've done right.
oh,
So,
Absolutely. Well, thank you for breaking that down, Corey. I think you know this about me. I'm pretty enthusiastic. I kind of look at it like we're a football team, but
yeah,
I always know that like if I don't get that, if we're pinned or avail, I know that you know what. If we didn't get it that time, I know either that next time's coming or eventually we will get that. I know we will. It's just gonna. It might not be this one, but it's gonna be down the road. That's what I always put into my mentality when it comes to everything.
yeah.
yeah, that's a good mentality to have. I always tell people focus on what you control and always try to let everything go
Hmm.
and just be focused on what's next and what you can do now, that sort of thing. But this is it's a job where you can do everything right and it can still go the other way. And probably like a lot of percent of the time, just because there's so much competition, you have to have a
Hmm.
really like you have a perfect mindset for this. Like it is kind of like a sport. You have to treat it like that. And
Yeah.
it's like the gym. You're getting reps, and at some point, you're going to hit a PR. You're going to accomplish something new. But there's
Mhm.
so much struggle before that. And if you keep that in mind, every actor keeps that in mind, I think it'll take a little bit of the burden off of like being so hard on yourself.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's great. I've heard Brandon talk about pen, and the thing is, and what is pen and avail the same? They're the same. What is
Well,
it? Pen
their
avail?
availability check is usually before a pin.
Okay,
So they'll check your availability if you did well at the callback. And
okay,
then sometimes that'll be it, and then you'll get a booking. But sometimes they'll go from the avail check to a pin or
okay.
a right of first refusal. Those two things are pretty much interchangeable.
Yeah. So when you pin someone and you have them, I guess they will take their time and reserve time on their own personal schedules for that period of time. Do you ever notify them that they did not get it? Or if they don't hear by a certain time, that means that they did not get it. I wonder how that making sure that the actor has pinned his or her time, but then uh, they are making themselves available. But when they don't get the role, are they notified of that because they could be losing money someplace else?
They're supposed to let us know, but I know how it goes. Like, 20 rolls an episode, several episodes,
Uh-huh.
there's just a lot that goes into it. They're supposed to, but a lot of
Yeah.
times they don't. They always let you know when you book it, but
Yeah.
they don't always let you know when you don't. I know that that's probably the hardest news to let an actor know. That's one of the hardest things as an agent is telling someone they didn't get it and they were really close and that they just got to keep a good head on their shoulders and keep grinding and keep focused on what you can control and that sort of
Mhm.
thing. But we usually have to follow up,
Mhm.
or if the actor is getting close to the date and they're like, hey, I need to know because I need to let them know if I'm going to be able to work or not, or maybe they got a shift covered or whatever.
Okay.
Then we'll follow up and get a response then. But throughout a week, we have so many avail checks. It's hard for us to
Certainly.
remember all of the avail
Certainly.
checks, but
Certainly. Certainly.
anytime someone wants us to follow up, we always do because we always want to know, probably
Sure.
not, maybe not as bad as the actor, but we pretty close. I would say
Well,
like neck and neck, you know. We want a book really bad too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, explaining that process is good for everybody, all of our viewers to know, because they think when you do background or you do some small role or whatever, they don't know or understand quite the process and what
No.
it takes. And then they might be the most talented one, but in that, a lot of decisions are made with no control. It's up to, I think, Brandon, you've explained it, and you've also explained it nice to hear, Corey. But it's a lot of things before they get the role. And so that's one thing I think that actors need to hear today, because they're not quite sure about the process. Then we, as lay people, not actors, we sit back and say, oh wow, that was a big role, or that was a small role. We don't even realize the mechanics behind that role. And
Hmm.
so, and I think being a parent here, and I'm talking, and Brandon's taught me so much about your business, and so that's great to hear. Brandon, go ahead with your question. I'm just
Oh,
interjecting and
you're good,
talking.
Mom. No, you're good. Good. I'm getting. Want them to know you too.
Okay.
How do you balance your day to day? So between work shift, like 80-hour weeks, and then your life, because you're newly married now too. So how do you balance both those?
So it works, in my opinion, it works out really well. I work from home mostly. We have an office that we go to do meetings, and the mail comes there. So we'll go up there sometimes if we want to get together and strategize about something. But I'm working from home mostly. 90% of the work I do is from the computer. So it's pretty much just keeping an eye on it. You don't have to be at your computer all day, but I mean,
Mhm.
I kind of am. But
Mhm.
just, when my wife gets home, we always have dinner. I make sure to cook dinner and stuff like that. So we have family time because she leaves to go to work, and then when she comes back, we spend time together. And
That's great.
usually she'll go to bed a little bit before me,
Mhm.
and then I'll check up on work again, or I'll check up on work before we go to bed or something. But it's just you just have to kind of prioritize both. But family is most important, I would
It really is.
say.
Mhm.
This is, it's up there with it. It's important to have, a career that you enjoy doing, and that that if you don't put your best effort in it, you could lose it. That sort of thing is always real in the back of my head. So,
Mhm.
and my wife is very understanding about that. She's very supportive. She enjoys going to all the functions and stuff, and
That's
she
nice.
enjoys when we book. She every day she's asking, "Y'all get any bookings?" Or,
Oh,
so she's interested in it too. So
yeah. It's a
uh,
family affair. It
yeah,
really
I have
is.
a very understanding wife, and
Oh,
so
that's
that
so
helps.
wonderful. That's wonderful to hear that y'all have found each other in this world.
Yes.
And she supports you and you support her. And if you keep loving each other and working it out, it's going to be just fine. It's going to
Oh
work out,
yeah.
Corey. Hey, Corey, I want to ask one question. For
Mhm.
young people who think entertainment is glamorous, but don't understand the grind, what would you tell them?
You have to love the grind. In order to get to the glamour, there's a lot before that. And I think people that come in and out of this business, or they burn out, it's because they're not really enjoying all of it. And
Uh-huh.
if you could somehow, even if you have to trick yourself into enjoying every part of it, it's a mind game, you know? You have to stay mentally strong, and you have to remember that, like I said earlier, this is a lifelong, if you want to do this for real, you got to think about people like Morgan Freeman and
Sure.
these actors that have been acting for a long time and didn't really have a breakout until later in life, but now they're household names and have been for a long time.
Exactly.
Um, those people probably got discouraged too, but they didn't quit, and they probably focused on training and getting in their reps and their classes.
It's sure.
Um, you just have to you have to enjoy the auditions. You have to, you don't have to enjoy getting pinned and then not getting it. You know, if you can enjoy that somehow, good for
Yeah.
you. But, I think that sort of like getting close and not getting it should feed you and
Yeah.
give you a little bit of something to go on for the next one. So
Uh-huh.
it's all about keeping it in perspective. If this is something you only have 2 years to complete, it would be very unlikely to complete, but then also you're putting so much of an unreasonable expectation on yourself. You have to keep your expectations uh, real
Mm,
and keep in mind that it's not a get rich quick scheme at all.
yeah.
Of course, that has happened to people, but a lot of times those people wind up, having their own struggles after that. So if
Hmm.
you can enjoy the process, be who you are in the bad parts and in the low moments and in the high moments, and try to
Sure.
just keep a steady head, you'll do just fine, in my
Excellent.
Absolutely.
opinion.
Absolutely. Corey, what do you do to decompress? And the only thing I have to interject here is I used to see you and your brother dressed up in costumes that were awesome. I don't know if you guys still do that,
Yeah.
but yeah, you
Yeah.
kind of what do you do to decompress? And kind of, Mom, they used to dress up in all these outrageous outfits that were awesome for
Mhm.
Oh,
themes.
what? Tell us
Yeah.
about it. Tell us.
So,
Share.
well, yeah, so it was what you're referring to is my bowling league that me and Jacob are in. We used to just dress up as random themes and go to bowling in full costume, and everybody else was just dressed normal. So we just did that to be funny. We don't really do that anymore because it's a different team now. Me and Jake are still on the team, but there's a few other new people.
Okay.
But yeah, bowling, golf, movie, family time.
That's
I
right.
mean, and we enjoy work too, so it's not like I really have to like decompress after work. Sometimes there's stressful things that happen, like you get really close on a big role and you get bad news, but you know, next day there's going to be new opportunities and you got to be ready to go get those. You can't be focused on the losses of today.
Hmm.
So I think having the excitement of something new every day definitely keeps you going.
Oh, that's
Okay.
great.
Sounds good to me. Mom,
Well,
unless you have another question, I'm gonna go into the lightning round.
no, I do have one last
Oh yeah, go ahead.
question.
Any
Okay.
questions you have, ask
Yeah,
now
no,
while you're
no.
here.
I'm gonna let you go in the lightning round because I know, based on Corey saying he works 80 hours a week, and his wife, he waits for her to come home, and when she comes home, they have dinner together. I don't want to take away from that dinner time and that time, that precious time you have with your lovely wife. Um, if someone has a dream but is afraid to start, what would you say?
Um, well, I'll say two things. The first thing would be you'll never regret um, going for it. You may be disappointed with the results, but if you don't try, you will always regret that, in my opinion.
Mhm.
And then also, if you do try, this is kind of a twofold thing, and uh, you have a tough career, but you have some ups and some downs. You followed your dreams. Maybe you didn't become a star, but you were able to do what you love and you were able to have time to visit your family and stuff. This job does provide for, extra, you have freedom a little bit to move around and travel and be with people at times it's important. So I would just say, like at the end of your life, when you're looking back on your life, even even the hard times, like when you're struggling and there's going to be a time when you look back at that and say those were like the best years of my life. I was really living my dream there. Yeah, there was times in my life when I was frustrated that it didn't work out or I missed this or didn't get that, but you went for it and you probably learned a ton of about yourself in the process. And if you just never took that leap of faith, uh, you would never have discovered everything that you could have discovered. So I would always say go for it. The worst thing that could happen is you fail and then you go back to what you were doing before.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
at least you tried, but and I think there should be a moment in your life where you go for something that's a little risky that you feel in your heart is something you need to do. Just follow that urge and um, always, be aware of your inner desires and
Mhm.
don't ever deprive yourself of doing something that you feel like you would want to do because you never know. Like
That's
you
correct.
could jump into it and just do amazing, or jump into it and love the process and find out so much, grow as a person. So many
Yes.
people take acting classes and they're like, well, it wasn't for me, but I grew a lot in those classes because I had to face a lot of my own things.
Oh,
Yeah.
So just go for it. That's my advice.
all right.
Okay.
Great.
I
Great.
love that.
Great. It's
Well, Corey, this is a lightning round. It could be one
Okay.
off or however long you're gonna make it. And I'll have a little speech at the end, and then I'll let Mom finish it off for you.
All right.
All right. Favorite movie of all time?
Man. Oh gosh. This should be easy, but I have so many. I mean,
Two top five, if that works.
I'll just say a few that I like. Interstellar,
Me too.
There Will Be Blood.
I haven't seen that one.
Um, I'll leave it at those two because there's so many more and I don't want to waste time on that. But those two are like all definitely top five for me.
Okay. Favorite TV show you binge watched recently?
Mm, oh God, what was that? Department Q.
Hmm.
Hmm.
It's like similar to Mindhunter. I loved
Okay. Oh, yeah, I like
Mindhunter.
Mindhunter. Yeah.
Yeah. Similar to Mindhunter, but it's set in the UK or somewhere like
Okay.
that. But I love those types of stories. And that one I binged in like a day or two.
Holy
Department
smokes.
Q.
All right, I'll check that one out. Comedy or drama?
Drama for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. The darker the better.
All right. Comedy. Sorry, coffee, energy drinks, or doing pilot season or tea. What is your preference?
Coffee. I have coffee every day, pretty much. Just black coffee, nothing in it.
Okay. Oh wow, black man. Uh,
Hmm.
a self tape. A self tape pet peeve.
Mm. Not labeling your files.
Oh yeah, that probably would be one.
Yeah. Because then I have to relabel them and then I also have to figure out what audition it is and all this. And
Yeah.
yeah.
All
So
right.
that,
Tell me that one.
yeah.
Best actor trait: talent, professionalism, or attitude.
Hmm. That's tough. Because if you're really talented, you book a lot, it covers a plethora of other sins.
Okay.
But having a good attitude, being a hard worker, those are the easiest people to work with.
Okay.
So you obviously, this is a 100% commission job, so booking is what's needed. But
Mhm.
also, there's been times we had to let people go because we just couldn't work with them. They,
Mhm.
they go to set and they're always finding something wrong. So I
Mhm.
think it's hard to choose, man. It really is.
Yeah.
I would say good attitude is the best because
Okay.
you can always get better.
Yeah.
But attitude is something that I feel
That's right.
like a lot of times people tend to just kind of keep, you know, they either have a good attitude or they don't.
Okay. Uh, Most underrated city for actors right now.
Easy. Atlanta.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the best city to build a resume, I would say. There's more jobs and roles here than anywhere else.
Oh,
Okay. One word that describes the entertainment industry.
Challenging.
hmm.
I'm with you on that one. Most important things. Most important thing actors should remember after rejection.
Even Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, they've all been rejected. They've had, Leonardo DiCaprio, they've all lost out jobs to each other and others. So
Hmm.
even the best lose, like that, not everybody's booked everything they've ever gone out for.
Hmm.
So do the
Um,
best you can and let the chips fall.
Amen. Dream vacation spot.
Ooh, dream vacation spot. I think right now I really like to go to um, St. Croix
Oh, that's nice.
or trying to remember the other one that's like right there next to it. St. Croix for now.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
nice. I've been there. It's nice.
Yeah, I would love to
Uh,
go.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go too.
Yeah.
Cat or dog? Cat person or dog person?
Dog, I have both, but I've always had dogs. I just
Yeah.
recently got a cat, so I love them both, but I've always been a dog person.
Okay. What's harder, dealing with actors or dealing with production deadlines?
Actors.
Funniest audition story you've ever heard? Is there one you might know off the bat?
A funny one. I could tell you one that's kind of it's pretty funny. There was a production in town and it was I think it was Untitled Judd Apatow or something like that. It was a big film, it was a comedy. And the guy's like, "Hey, we can't find anybody for this role, but the guy likes working with comedians. So do you have any comedians? We have a few." So I reached out to him and I was like, "Hey, can you send me your stuff?" And one of the guys responded. It was like an hour later, and he was like so upset that it took him so long. And to me, that's like that's not that long. That's fine,
Yeah.
you know. Um, and he was like, I'm so sorry, but here it is, let me know if there's anything else. So I sent it to production and he like, I remember, I think he posted something on Facebook like, lesson learned, don't take naps in the middle of the day or whatever. Like, like my agent called looking for this certain thing and I couldn't get it to him in time or as
Yeah.
soon as I would like to, blah, 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 blah. So always be on alert. Anyways, he wound up booking it.
Oh, nice.
So it was one of those things where like, even when you feel like you didn't do your best or you didn't get to where you wanted to do or you didn't get it in on time, still got
Yeah.
to trust the process.
Amen.
So yeah, that was a good one because, a lot of times you think you're going to get it and you don't, and sometimes you just don't expect to get it and you do. So it's
Yeah.
just a reminder of how you can't let the results affect your core like attitude and beliefs and your work ethic.
Okay. I like that. Let's see here. If you personally could guest star on any TV show, what would it be? If you personally could.
Landman.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one, man. That
Yeah,
is a
I
good
think I
one.
could fit in there. Anything Taylor Sheridan, I think they could
Yeah.
find something for me.
Heck yeah. I love his work. Let's see here. What's one piece of advice you give your younger self? If you go back and tell your 18-year-old self anything, what would it be? Mom, that's not the last question, but I've Corey for you.
I would, me, just don't worry about the future. Focus on what you got going on today. When I was growing up, before I started this, I never knew what I was going to do, but I always felt like there was something I had I had something special that I needed to do. And
Mhm.
I just was trying to be ready for that. I would just tell myself, stay the course. If you're ever in a moment or you're ever in a couple year drought where you feel like you need to make a change,
Mhm.
that's going to be the time to make a change. Don't make a change because you have one bad day or a bad week. Let it set. You know, just trust the process and be patient. You don't need everything in a day. You have plenty of time. So just be patient and trust the process.
Okay, I like that. Hidden talent outside of the entertainment business for yourself personally.
Music. I've made music
You
my
can
whole
sing.
life, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, played bass and drums a little bit, and then we rapped a little bit and sang a little
Oh, wow.
bit, did a little bit of everything, country, whatever. We used
Okay.
to, growing up, my dad had a music studio,
Oh wow.
like a home studio, but he worked with a lot of people, and so we were always around it. So we got instruments real young, and our best friend was our neighbor, and he got instruments. So we grew up playing instruments, and I've been in a band since I was like in sixth grade.
Oh,
I knew
man.
you could sing. I had a feeling that you could probably sing. I had a feeling
Yeah.
of it. I just knew it.
Backup only. Yeah.
Okay.
That is so
That is amazing.
nice.
And that you grew up with that in your family too. Wow, that is
Yeah.
amazing.
Kenzie, my sister, she's had a lot of success, and she's a really, really good singer.
Oh,
Okay.
Um,
That's one she's the one I asked the other day.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We're gonna have to get her
Yeah.
on here.
Hmm.
Let's see here. Favorite thing about Atlanta.
Uh, it's rapidly growing.
Okay.
Like the area that I've been in for 3 years, it's changed drastically. Uh, so there's just tons of new stuff growing, businesses, restaurants. It's just everywhere you go, there's skyscrapers or like there's cranes building skyscrapers and new restaurants, new businesses. So just being around that growth is kind of gets you motivated, to like go with it, like use that as
Absolutely.
energy to grow yourself.
Okay. One actor habit that instantly impresses you.
one hand. Okay.
I would say getting the tapes in uh, well before the deadline and
Mhm.
just turning in a good tape.
Okay. One thing you want listeners to take away from this episode.
Well, hopefully I've said something and y'all have said something that would help inspire somebody in some way. But just believe in yourself. And trust that whatever you believe you can do, you actually can do it. You don't have to have someone else tell you you can do it. Um, and you're just as good as anyone else. So believe in yourself first and foremost, and that'll solve a plethora of your other problems.
Yes.
Okay. Two
That's
questions
good.
left, Corey, and then I got a little speech and then mom. So we're almost out of
All
here.
right.
In one sentence, what separates working actors from everyone else trying to make it?
Um, Consistency. They're consistent. Even the working actors who are really consistent, they still have down times where
Mhm.
they didn't book as much this year. They've had a rough year or two, but they're always still grinding. They're always still pursuing. They're still progressing in some way.
Okay. All right. And then Corey, what do you want to be remembered for at the end of the day? What do you want people to say about you?
I was a hard worker and family man and honest. That's enough
Okay.
for me.
All right. Well, Corey, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say how much I love you, how much I love Jacob. Because of you, one, we have the show today. Two, I was able to be there when my dad was alive. I was able to be there when my grandparents were alive because you guys were working hard to get me back on the East Coast and down south so I could be with them. And because of you all, I was able to spend that time that I will never get back because I lost my dad to pancreatic cancer. You guys were there for me through that. You guys have allowed me to be able to help provide for my family at times and just be home. So I can't say to you all how much I love you, how much I'll go to the gates of hell to do battle with you guys.
No, you won't go to hell to do that now.
I don't know if Mama Rush would allow that, but I do
Yeah,
appreciate it, man. We love you
yeah,
too.
but it's the point is I appreciate what you guys have done for me and have done for my family. So I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, and then I'll let Mama Rush take it over.
Well,
Thank you.
I want to say one thing. Favorite Atlanta restaurant?
Oh man, favorite Atlanta restaurant. Well, the one that I go to the most is Cypress Street, Pint and Plate, because it's really close to my building and they have a good variety and it's not too expensive. So it's
Okay.
kind of low key. It's not going to blow your top off, but anything you get is good.
Okay. Well, this is what I want to say from Mama Rush to you and the Buckle Up Podcast universe. Thank you. I want to thank you for joining us today, for sharing your skills, your journey, your brotherhood, and your insight into an industry so many people dream about entering. Your story reminds us that vision, family, hard work, and courage can open incredible doors. And as always, to our listeners around the world, stay ready, stay aware, and don't forget to buckle up. Thank
Thank you so much,
Awesome.
Corey.
you.
Thank you guys. That was
Uh,
really a pleasure. I enjoyed meeting you,
Thank
Mama
you.
Rush, and
Oh, enjoy.
always good talking to you, Brandon.
Absolutely, man.
You're a
Well,
good
take care and
spirit,
go
man.
love
You
on that
you
wife of
charge up
yours.
everyone around you. So
Okay.
Thank
keep
you,
doing
Corey.
you.
I
What did you say?
appreciate that,
Hey, I'm
brother.
sorry. I'm sorry, Kurt. What did you say, Kurt? I'm sorry. I was
Oh
telling him to
no,
go love on your wife. Go ahead.
oh yeah. Yeah. I was just saying, Brandon, you're a strong spirit and you light up everyone around you. So just keep being who you are, man. It's not everybody is like that, and it really is a gift and a joy to be around people like that.
Thanks,
Okay.
brother. No ceilings, man. As you always
That's
say, no
it.
ceilings.
100% believe that, man. The
Uh,
ceilings are only there if we believe they're there.
Amen.
that
Amen.
is so true. Well, listen, you take care. And
Corey,
maybe one day we'll get a chance to meet your wife. You ready, Brandon?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, but next
Let's
when
do
we're
it.
down in Atlanta, Mom's ever with me down in Atlanta, we'll definitely do it, Corey.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's link
Okay.
up.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Let's see
All right,
what
we
we
give it
do.
a little
Big
round of
clap.
applause, Corey. You knocked out
Yeah,
the park,
great
brother.
job, Corey. Great job. Thank you so
Thank y'all for
Thank you
much.
so
having
much,
me.
Corey. And then Corey, just send me the photo you want for your episode. I'll have it done tonight.
Okay, I'll text it to you.
All right,
All right.
sounds good, brother. I'll talk to you
All right.
later. Thank
See
you
y'all
so
later.
much.
Bye.
All right.
He
He
was,
was excellent, Mom.
oh,
Absolutely
what are you
excellent.
talking
Amazing
about?
human being.
A wealth of knowledge.